2022, it was nice knowing you. Before we crack open a fresh season of competition, we'll recap the biggest numbers from this past season coming up on Inside the Leaderboard. What's up everyone, Tommy Marquez here with the end of year edition of Inside the Leaderboard presented by Thorne, the official supplement partner of CrossFit, and the book is almost closed on 2022, but before we move on to a new year and a new season of competition, I want to look back and pick my 3 favorite numbers from this past year, one each from 3 different stages of competition. And our first number today is 14, which coincidentally is actually my lucky number, but it's also the total number of net units that separated Mal O'Brien and Tia-Clair Toomey at the top of the worldwide leaderboard in the open. Now bear with me because units account for both reps and time between the two to highlight just how close they were and how exceptional both were overall. In 22.1, Mal won the workout worldwide, but beat Tia by just 17 reps. That's 17 units if you're counting. Then Tia won 22.2 worldwide and beat Mal by 4 seconds, which leaves the net difference at 13 units now. Then Mal comes right back and wins 22.3 by just 1 second over Tia, which moves the net difference back up to 14 units, which is just crazy how close they were considering there are well over 100,000 women competing, and between them, they won all 3 open workouts as maybe just a little bit of a preview of what was to come in some fashion at the CrossFit Games later this season. Our next number for the week comes from semifinals, and it is 80, and it was the point spread between Will Moorad and James Sprague heading into the final event of the Syndicate Crown, making it by far the largest comeback in a single event in CrossFit Games history between the athletes that wound up in the 2 spots straddling the qualification cut line. Now, this is a little insight into the behind-the-scenes process for graphics and such on the live stream. When you calculate the minimum finish needed for an athlete to qualify, you always do the calculation under the assumption that the person chasing them has won the event and taken home 100 points. It's the most extreme example possible for the scenario, and it gives you a fail-safe for a hard and fast number that, if we're being honest, rarely comes into play in actuality. Well, my friends, this is why you make that 100-point assumption. Because 1 minute you think you're relatively safe with an 80-point cushion, and then some super nice, super fit dude throws down some heat over in lane 9 and snatches your game's dreams right out from under you. We're a half year removed from this performance, and honestly, I am still in awe of it. And finally, our last number of 2022 is 6. A total of 6 athletes in both the individual men and individual women's division had the distinction of donning the white leaders jersey during the 5 days of competition at this year's games. Now, of course, that list includes eventual champions Tia-Clair Toomey and Justin Medeiros, but if I told you at the beginning of the year that Ricky Garrard would be the man to wear the most, and that a trio of women with an average age of 18 and a half or so would occupy it for more than a third of the competition, I think a good portion of the fan base might be giving me some side-eye. So we're going to hit depth on that number because I want to relive the journey that the white leaders jersey took this year at the Games, and because I think there are some valuable takeaways looking forward to the future from that journey. Right out of the gate, Haley Adams and Ricky Garrard earned the jersey thanks to their win in Bike to Work. From there, Adams would pass the jersey off to another teenage phenom in Emma Lawson, whose pair of third-place finishes in Bike to Work and Skill Speed Medley made her the youngest ever to wear it as an individual. Mal O'Brien would close day 1 with the jersey after a top 3 finish in Elizabeth Elevated, and she would keep it for all of day 2. Friday morning after the Capitol event would be the first time Toomey took the jersey, and frankly, it was probably 5 or 6 events later than most people thought. We would have to wait another 4 events until we saw the jersey change hands when Justin Medeiros would finally reel in Ricky Garrard after hat trick on Saturday morning. That would be the last time we saw an ownership change, as both Toomey and Medeiros managed to keep the jersey the rest of the way. Now, it would be easy to look at the sheer length of time that Toomey, Garrard, and Medeiros held onto the jersey and feel a bit blasé about the matter. But I honestly think that if we zoom out a bit, the reality points towards a heightened level of parity and plenty to be excited about in the sport's near future. Remember the fact that during the previous 2 seasons, 3 of the 4 contested individual competitions that took place only ever saw 1 athlete wear the jersey. Toomey and Matt Fraser went wire to wire in 2020, and Toomey did so again in 2021. So to have 6 athletes across the 2 divisions wear it in 2022 alone, it felt like the competition was heating up drastically. Factor in that it was year 1 of Boz's programming. Haley, Mal, Emma, Justin, and more have on average about a decade's worth of competition left each, and that this is Tia's last year coming up, and this number begins to carry much more excitement about the future of the sport with it as we keep calm and carry on into 2023. That's going to do it for this edition of Inside the Leaderboard, presented by Thorne, the official supplement partner of CrossFit. I know most of you are going to take some time off for the holidays, and I've got just the thing for you guys to binge on while you're at it. Head on over to the CrossFit Games YouTube. You can catch all 12 episodes of Miles to Madison out now. As I mentioned before, episode 10 is some of the best content out there, I promise. And if you're looking to get the new year off on the right foot, registration is now live for the Open. You can sign up for the 2023 Open over at games.crossfit.com. And until next year, I'll see you on the leaderboard.